Hey, it's Alex Williams of the New Stack. Welcome to the New Stack Makers, a podcast where we talk about application development, deployment, and management at scale. The Cloud Foundry Foundation is an independent nonprofit organization formed to sustain the development, promotion, and adoption of Cloud Foundry as the industry standard platform for cloud applications. Cloud Foundry is an application platform. It provides a choice of clouds, developer frameworks, and application services. Cloud Foundry makes it faster and easier to build, test, deploy, and scale applications. It's an open source project and is available through a variety of private cloud distributions and public cloud instances. Learn more at cloudfoundry.org. Hey, it's Alex Williams of the New Stack, and I'm here in The Hague for the Cloud Foundry Summit Europe, and it's our first show of the day, and I'm really glad to have two people here who manage the unconference, and we're here for the event. Ivana Scott, Business Operations Manager at EngineerBetter. How are you?
I'm good. Hi.
And Sara Lenz, Sales and Account Manager with anynines. How are you, Sara?
Good, thanks.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. You know, a lot of what we heard in the keynote today is how important the community is.
Yes.
And you both are quite involved in the community, and you are part of the development of the unconference. I'm curious how you got involved in this line of work. How did you become involved in a community that's built on open source technologies, but also, coming from like a maybe not necessarily a technical perspective?
Yeah, it was really easy to get involved in the community. I joined the CF Summit in 2015, and I just attend the user day and get to know Ivana, and she encouraged me to do the unconference. I did it for 4 years already, so it was my 5th unconference this time. And it's really good to see all the people coming together to speak and to exchange their knowledge. It's really easy because everybody's really open to each other and answer all the questions you have. So it's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you, Sarah. I got first involved in the open source world back in 2007 when I joined an open source technology training provider in London. And the company, I was part of the events team. We organized events, training courses, conferences, and meetups. And the company did a huge amount to support open source communities. We gave a home to a lot of existing communities in London and helped form new open source communities. And again, the focus was on learning new skills, sharing experiences. And I got involved in the Cloud Foundry community when I joined EngineerBetter in 2018. Very early on, I was brought to the first summit, my first summit in Boston, and I met Sara, and the rest is history. We've been organizing the unconference.
Oh, how did you guys start actually begin to working on it together? Did you meet in Boston, and what came of that discussion? And perhaps either one of you could explain what the actual unconference is.
So I began with Paula Kennedy in 2015 with the unconference. I just wrote the Cloud Foundry Foundation that I just want to be part of the community and help them to come together and be together. And then the foundation wrote me, okay, you can do it with Paula together. And the year after, I did it with EngineerBetter, and Ivana joined the team then, so we get to know each other. Yeah.
Oh, neat.
It was really easy.
Yeah.
It was pretty natural then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, very organic.
Yeah.
Really.
So, Ivana, EngineerBetter does a lot of work with Cloud Foundry, and you offer 3 different types of Cloud Foundry training. Can you describe what those 3 trainings are, and what is the certification process? Because that's a lot of how people do start contributing to the community itself.
Yes, absolutely. We most of the training that we deliver is usually around the one day courses. So they are usually taken by customers who want a quick introduction to the topic. The one-day Cloud Foundry training and the Bosch training are both open source. They are maintained by EngineerBetter, and I'd say one of the biggest benefits to the community as a whole of having these courses are that they are available for the community. They are accessible. Anyone who wants to be involved, anyone who wants to get an understanding of the topic can just look at the content and kind of get involved.
What are the backgrounds of the people who you find enter the program? Are they junior developers? Are they, who are the people?
It varies. It varies. It is some new members, some junior developers, but some companies that just want to give an introduction to a topic to their team. The 5-day courses, the longer courses, are usually taken by customers or organizations that want to give a kind of a deeper level of training to their teams, but we delivered them a lot less than the 1-day courses.
Mm-hmm. So Sara, anynines also offers a Cloud Foundry developer certification. What's your approach? What's the anynines approach? How do you go about your certification process?
So it's really easy. So we became a Cloud Foundry Foundation trainings partner. So we work together with them. So the companies can call us or reach out to us and say, okay, we want that our developers became trained for the certificate. So that means we go to the customer and help the developers to get trained. So we deliver all the trainings they need. And if they need a tailored training, it's also the same. So we put the training how the customer needs. So it depends on the skill level they have and also on the knowledge they have. It can be the beginners and also the managers. So we keep an eye on the level they have and tailor the training for them. So we help them to get ready for the certificate.
I have a question for both of you. We are in a time where software development is scaling tremendously around the world, and there's a deep need for developers overall. And often, we find that underrepresented communities are often a really great source for developer talent. How do you approach finding people who come from backgrounds that may not be just the traditional, developer persona, developer profile?
I mean, we at EngineerBetter, we try and foster a very diverse, inclusive team. We try and make sure that everyone who joins our team feels welcome, and then we try and make them an ambassador for the company, because it's easy for us to say, oh, we've got this amazing diverse team, we are an inclusive company, please come and work for us, work with us, work with the technology, become a developer. But we really need the developers to be the ambassadors for that and help us spread that message.
What's anynines' approach?
So when the developer comes to us, we will help them to set up the knowledge. So that means we take a look what is the knowledge they have, and then we put an onboarding process special for the developer, and then we encourage them to get to know all the topics, and then to get, like Ivana, in Ivana's company, we will get to encourage them and to be part of it and to ambassador them. So anynines is try to get all the people to give them the chance and to spread the knowledge around the topic about Cloud Foundry. So,
is it a challenge sometimes to try to find people from underrepresented communities?
It's a challenge definitely to find, but we try our best and we try to that everyone feels welcome in our company, and I would say our human resource manager did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you look for developers? And I mean, where do you find that and kind of backtracking a little bit, where do you find the developers are coming from in the certification process? Are they all members of the open source of the Cloud Foundry community?
No, they don't
not
have
at
to.
all. No, I'd say a lot of our developers haven't heard of Cloud Foundry or just heard of Cloud Foundry, and so we provide them with an onboarding and we train them in using the technology. We've hired a lot of junior developers from a coding academy.
Okay.
That teaches them the kind of the cloud native working processes. They are used to pair programming, they are used to TDD and agile methodologies. So their mindset is already correct, right for that sort of development. And so it's easier to teach them the technology than to change someone's mindset. So we tend to hire people that are already set to work that way, and then teaching them the technology is then our kind of job.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about the unconference that you organize. I'm curious about what is the unconference from your point of view?
So the unconference is an event for the community. So we encourage people to speak there, or to bring up a topic they want to discuss there. So it's a kind of casual event, I would say. So, but it's really awesome to see that so many people show up every time. So yes, it was 200 roundabout, and all the people get to know each other, or it's like a family meeting kind of.
It is.
Because everybody knows each other almost. So it's to bring the community together and see how it's grow and the community exchange.
Yeah, and its content is very community driven. So we have sponsors, and that's one of the most challenging tick list exercises that we've got on our list with Sara, to get the fundraising, to get sponsors, which we can't thank enough to our sponsors.
Who do you want to give a shout out to, the sponsors?
So last night sponsors were Stark & Wayne, SAP, and SUSE.
Okay.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to Stark & Wayne, SAP, and SUSE.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some lightning talks that sponsors deliver. Then we tend to approach some community speakers to give some community talks, and then we keep a lot of time for open space discussions. And that is I think the highlight of everyone's
the open discussions.
It's they bring the topics they are passionate about, and we wouldn't believe the discussions. It's amazing to see.
What topics came up last night?
Oh gosh, it was 20 topics or so.
Yeah,
it was a lot
loads
of
of
topics.
topics.
Kubernetes was a topic.
Yeah. Lots of Bosch, lots of future of Bosch and things like that.
Irene, so it depends. So
Organizational change.
I can't repeat them.
There's a lot of different.
And is it like is it just an open discussion? People sit around in a circle, or is it all?
Yeah, they
exactly.
find into a group. So we had 5 groups yesterday. And they discussed a specific topic for 15 minutes round, and you saw that the people don't really want to shut it down. So it was really nice to see yesterday.
What are some of the more unusual topics that you've heard discussed at the unconference in the past? Anything unusual that you can think of? Maybe organizational behavior discussions, or or a particular kind of approaches?
I don't think so.
No,
it's pretty standard.
Really.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. The thing is that I can't be involved in all the discussions, and I kind of walk around and try and get a glimpse of what they're talking about, but I haven't caught anything to mention right now.
So how many people came last night then?
Yesterday was roughly 200.
About 200,
Yeah.
I'd say.
So it's
At
growing.
the peak time, it was about
Yeah.
100, 200.
Is that one of your bigger conferences that you've had?
Yes, this year and last year in Basel was
we had about
also really
250.
crowded.
We had, yeah.
Did you do one in Philadelphia?
We did, yes.
Was it as big as?
No, it was
It was
not
about
that
100
big.
people, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. So, what are you seeing as some of the, benefits that members see from getting involved in the Cloud Foundry Foundation and through the work that you're doing? It's voluntary. So, how is that then part of your messaging? That it's voluntary. It's they have to take initiative. Do you focus on that as a topic when you're going through certification, or do you talk about that in the conference at all?
I mean, we see, so from a non-developer, what I observe in the team, it's when our engineers or our devs get involved in open source, we can see the boost of job satisfaction. We started an open source project called Concourse App, which is an open source tool to help people deploy Concourse really easily. And we made this as a bench project for our team, and we've had feedback from users, we've had success stories, and it's so important for developers to have that feedback so they can improve on that product. So we've seen that whilst we're not an open source company, when our developers get involved in open source, it's we can see that they are happier because of those feedback loops, because they are able to contribute to something.
Yeah. So what would you say, just some, kind of finishing up our interview, what are some of the success stories that you've seen come out of your experience with with developing the unconference in particular? What have been some of the momentum that you've seen come out of it?
What I have in mind is that one of the speakers at the unconference, I guess it was in Basel last year, she became a keynote speaker at the CF Summit. So it was really nice to see that people try to give a speech, or we encourage them to give a speech at the unconference, and then they are so motivated and then go on the stage on the CF Summit. So that's really good.
That's great.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. It is really nice to see that we are able to provide a platform to new members or people that have never given a talk, and then see them flourish into a
So
conference
you've seen
speaker.
that. You've seen that too, where they've graduated essentially from the unconference into the conference itself.
And that's kind of what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Getting that recognition in the community. What has it done to people's careers, do you think, by being involved in the unconference and getting involved in Cloud Foundry? Do you see people getting promoted in their jobs? Do you see successes?
I haven't seen that in particular, but I'd say that it boosts confidence.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be sitting here a year and a half ago when I was introduced to this community. I was expecting all sorts of things, but not being for this community to be so welcoming and so kind. And coming from a non-technical background, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I just felt really good. And the fact that I'm sitting here and talking about it and talking about the community on camera is I think an evidence of the fact that it does boost confidence in people.
That's true. I can also agree with Ivana.
Well, Ivana and Sara, thank you so much for taking some time to talk. It really has been a conversation that I think is important to have about getting involved at that grassroots level and where it can take you. I mean, you talked about the certification processes that you do. You talked a little bit about the structure of the unconference itself and the success stories, which really it comes down to. It must be satisfying to see it develop for your own personal careers, but for others too. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
The
The Cloud Foundry Foundation is an independent nonprofit organization formed to sustain the development, promotion, and adoption of Cloud Foundry as the industry standard platform for cloud applications. Cloud Foundry is an application platform. It provides a choice of clouds, developer frameworks, and application services. Cloud Foundry makes it faster and easier to build, test, deploy, and scale applications. It's an open source project and is available through a variety of private cloud distributions and public cloud instances. Learn more at cloudfoundry.org. Listen to more episodes of the New Stack Makers at thenewstack.io/podcasts. Please rate and review us on iTunes, like us on YouTube, and follow us on SoundCloud. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.